All right, now welcome back. We're starting off where we ended on the last one, which I went ahead and flipped the lip over so we could see the whole mouth. But what I'm going to do is delete that half for the next part because we're going to continue on with the mouth into the nose and onto the chin. And of course I don't want to have to model more than I need to, so we're going to go ahead and delete the left half. Back to face mode, and then go back to object mode here. And we're going to start by creating kind of a mask. We're going to take this outer edge around the lips and extrude it out from the lips, creating a new edge going all the way around. We'll do that a couple times, and it should create kind of a like a mask, if you can think of like a breathing mask or filter or something like that. So it'll go all the way to the chin and to the bottom part of the nose. So let's go ahead and grab the edges. I should be able to select the first one and double click holding shift, and it selects just the edge from there all the way around. And now we'll go ahead and extrude that. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab the green arrow here and move it up. I'm going to try to keep it, this part isn't quite as detailed as the lips were, so I can keep the polygon count fairly low. We'll start with about that. And then, as usual, let's go into the wireframe and double check the location thing. So for instance, this little vertex here, I'm going to hold X and move it back into place. Same with the one at the bottom. And we're going to start moving these around where we need them. So let's move some of these out. You see the edges coming up through the upper lip. Some of these are going to work their way up the side of the nose and onto the cheek, and will end up being part of the bottom of the eye. So we'll start with this one here. And this one will kind of work its way up to the edge of the nose. And this will work its way up to about the nostril area. This one I'm going to move up. And then for the chin, down below, most of these are going to come down, but I do want to create this little dip in there, so I might need to move those a little closer. And I'm going to go out this way. All right, let's look at it from the side view. Not bad. Chin, or the lip, obviously has to come up, and I'm really kind of keeping an eye on this edge flow here, making sure that's nice and smooth. This bottom part, and the upper part isn't too bad. We can go right about there is where it, so I'll bring these down just a little, form the upper part of the lip, and keep the edge flow nice and neat. Let's see what that looks like. Not too bad. Make sure it looks okay here, and I didn't lose any of these along the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that same edge and make sure I have it, because this is, there we go. And we'll extrude it again. Need a couple more extrusions before we get to the actual nose portion. So, all right, and then we'll go back to vertex mode and Start with the side. Again, always start here with the center point so that we keep those nice and neat. So again, this one is going to work its way up the side of the face. This one, I want to keep it going probably right up to the side of the nostril. And then, of course, the chin. So let's see what this chin looks like from the side view. That's something a little off here. Where am I? There we go. That's why. All right. So again, we want to follow these up. These should spread out a little bit. If you think of that one I have selected now, from the front view, this is the one that's going to go right up the side of the nose here. So I want to kind of line it up so that the edge is starting to create this flow as well. This one's going to make its way all the way up to the eye. And this one is going to start to go out that way. Now let's look at the bottom of this. Okay, so these are close to being lined up here. Go up a little bit on that, maybe this way. Okay. I know it looks a little strange right now, but wait till we start getting the chin and the nose. So I'm going to go back, select that edge, we're going to go up again. And the same. So you can see we're getting close to the bottom of the nose. So I don't want to, it's too much space to go all the way to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is bring these down just a little bit, so we can get an edge there and split the difference between here and the bottom of the nose. So we definitely need an edge right here. So move that. This one here is going to go right up on the inside of the nostril. This one's going to go kind of in the middle of the nostril. And this one's going to go on the outer edge of the nostril. And then this one's going to go, again, right up the edge of that side. And now I'm getting away from, the mouth right in this area needed quite a few polygons because it's going to be stretching and moving, but now I can start to get a little bit further away. And this one here, coming off the edge, is actually going to go up the right side of this person's face and create an edge that goes all the way up and forms kind of the side of the eye socket. So I want to start thinking about where that's going to lead. The rest of these, let me get the bottom part. I can start spreading them out a little bit here, because it will need, in this case, this person has kind of a defined chin, and I want to make sure I've got enough polygons to create that. And I'm way off when it comes to this side. So let's go back out here. All right, so I'm going to have this one start to come around. These can come out. And you can see how these are starting to spread out quite a bit. So in the end, I may end up adding another edge, but we'll kind of go with it at as it is right now. All right, so we are right. You can see here it's a little bit jagged. Let me kind of smooth that out. Now you can see that curve is a little bit better going across there. This really needs to match up a little bit better. Right. All right, so you can see here we've got one more edge here before we hit the nose. So I'm going to go back to edge mode, and let's extrude out one more time. And make sure everything ends up where it should again. So back to the middle. I'm going to bring it down just a tad. So I'm right at the bottom of that nose, and everything else should also, whoops, kind of follow the edge of the nose there. This one can start to go up the side. Remember, we're keeping this as low poly as possible, so we don't want to get too crazy with that. And then down to the chin. Let's bring these down a little bit. And side view. All right, double check, see which one I've got. It's the very tip. So this one's going to have to come out just a little bit. And you can see that I'm getting off of the image just a bit, so I'm going to try to reel that back in. All right, looking pretty good. Now's a good time to save. Back to object mode. All right, so let's look at this nose here. Let's go ahead and start it. I'm going to grab that outer edge, and again, we'll go ahead and extrude. And first of all, we have to start moving this out, right? If this is the last edge where it's right up against the face, then these need to start coming straight out at us. And I'm going to go over the nostril to start with. These can spread out a little bit. Now, I haven't taken a whole lot of consideration into the shape of the cheek yet, so but right now I just want to build the structure, and we can come back to the cheek. Let's focus on the nose first. So I want this to come straight out. And let's see where this one is. That's right on the edge of the nostril. So we'll come out to about there. This one can kind of come back this way. So you can see we're starting to form the bottom part of the nose, and then let's get the chin. And I'm just keeping these to have a nice smooth edge flow going this way and the edge flow going this way. And I'm trying to keep them relatively similar in spacing. So if this is the space we have here, then that's roughly what we should have here as well. Same with down here. Try not to change too much of the spacing at one time. Okay, let's keep going. Next edge, extrude out. Take care of the cleanup here. These I think are going to come down. These need to go up. And these need to go up. Now let's look at these from the side view. Now I want these to start curving. In other words, if I've got that, I want this edge to start going upward. Like this, at this angle, because as we're coming around the chin, these edges are going to have to start going more vertical. So we're going to start that curve right now. Let's see what this looks like. Now, for starters, what we're going to do is just create the nose with basically a bump. Then we'll come back in and make a few additional changes to create the nostrils and so on. But for now, we're just going to create the shape of it. All right, tell already that my mesh over here is a little off. Let's see where we are. These can start to come further back. But don't forget, we still need to get the eyes in there. So. And let's go one more level. And we're starting to get to the point where it starts to bend. But I do want this edge to, or when I say bend, start to go back up. The nostril, the nose. I do want the edge to kind of come across the top of the nostril though. And you can see the cheek starting to reach the cheek part of it. Let's go this way. And I don't want to go too far with that. Most of this will go under, so I'll just kind of tuck it down underneath here for now. All right, let's look at the nose. And judging from the side view, we can start to make this come up the edge here. So let's leave it at that point at the moment, and then we'll come back in here and start working with some of these other pieces. It'd also be a good time, if you want, to go ahead and flip this again, just to kind of get an idea of the overall look. Let's see if I go to, I should have my duplicate special still set up. Nope, I must have changed it. So duplicate special, and I want to go negative in the X direction, not the Z. So let's go reset. duplicate. I forgot to get that one. There you can see there's a gap right between. I forgot to move that one right up against the edge, but now we're starting to see, you're also starting to see a little bit of a crease here, and that's just because there's a bit of an angle. The last edge polygon is coming at too much of an angle there. We'll smooth that out later though. All right, I'm gonna undo that. So I'm back to just the normal space. All right, so let's go ahead and save it, and we'll come back here and start playing around with the next part of the nose.